All right, y'all, we back with another dish. Even Hurricane Ivan can't stop me from cooking. So I hope you guys enjoy this pesto cream sausage rigatoni. It's gonna be a good one. It's a quick dish and it's fun on Around the Armstrong table. Enjoy the video. Let's get this dish started. So first we're gonna whip out our food processor, and I'm gonna get about 2 cups of baby spinach into the food processor. Okay, I'm gonna push that down as much as I can in there. But you know, with spinach, the minute you add any type of liquid to it, it's gonna wilt pretty quickly. And this is kind of a non-traditional way of doing it. I know a lot of people use basil, but trying to be a little bit healthier with this one. So I'm gonna add spinach, especially with the sausage being so rich. So next I'm gonna come in with some pistachios. Forgive me if I mess that word up sometime. I know it's pistachios, but the S slips in there sometime. Next, we're going to add in about 6 cloves of garlic. I did slice a couple of pieces, so it may look like a little bit more garlic, but there you go. You got about six cloves in there. We'll come in with some lemon zest. This is going to give a nice lemony fragrance to the dish, and you know, I want to get a good amount of that in there. I'm going to actually cut the lemon in half and use half of the lemon juice in there as well. So want to make sure we get that in there, that good lemon flavor, but also it's going to enhance a little more with the lemon zest. And of course, with a pesto, the beauty of it is you cannot have pesto without some cheese. So I'm going to grate some fresh Parmesan cheese in there, and you guys have seen me use the grater before. I actually enjoy using this this little grater to put my cheese in there. So that's about a half a cup, and it's going to really add in that creaminess that we need to the pesto. And next I'm going to add a little bit of salt and pepper, and just going to come in with a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper, and this pesto is pretty much done. I'm going to blend it up just a little bit, and you won't be able to see, but I'll be adding in my olive oil towards the top, and that'll give it the perfect consistency that we want. And what you want to do is just watch this to the right consistency. So you see me there. I'm gonna basically just pulse it a little bit. I had to move the one piece out before I do so. So now that I'm drizzling in the olive oil, I can really monitor this and look at the consistency to make sure it's exactly what I want. And this pesto is going to move right along. Now the nice thing about this, you don't have to use all of this in this particular dish. You can actually put this aside and use it for other things. You can use it for dipping with olive oil and so on. But we're right where we need to be. All right, y'all. So now we're gonna get the sauce and the sausage cooking. So what I'm gonna do is cook the sausage first. I brought my heat up to about a medium-high heat, and I did that because I really want to get the sausage, get those kind of brown bits on the bottom of the sausage. So I want to make sure I really cook this pretty good. And so the nice thing about this type of sausage, I just used pretty much what I got from my grocery store. I've used it before. You can use whatever you want. If you want to use like Jimmy Dean's or something like that, people have their preferences on what type of sausage they use. But you want to get this cooked up and chopped up into nice, either little bits or bite-sized pieces, whichever you want. It's going to permeate right all through the sauce. So that's a nice thing. I'm not going to add any additional seasoning or anything to this because it's got a lot of salt and everything already, and some of my other ingredients are more salty, so I don't want to over season things. But this is pretty much what you want. You want to get that nice brown color on it. And for people that don't like pork, they could use turkey. If you want to use ground turkey, I mean, really anything you want. And as you can see, that's exactly what I want. It's cooked up to right where it needs to be. And I'm going to take this out and put it aside here and start to add some of my other ingredients. All right, y'all. So now that I got the sausage put aside, I'm going to add a little bit more olive oil to the pan. And that way I can bring in my other ingredients, which is my garlic. So that's about 4 cloves of garlic. And we just want to get the garlic cooking really quick. We're not gonna cook this very, very long because we don't want the garlic to burn. The pot's already hot, so we're just gonna obviously get it fragrant until we start smelling it. Next, I'm adding some sun-dried tomatoes. And you guys have seen me use a similar ingredient before with the sun-dried tomatoes. Again, I just like the flavor of them, and they add a little bit of different flavor without having that intense kind of tomatoey flavor. So my wife is not a huge fan of tomatoes, so I try to add in other ingredients that's similar, that gives me the flavor, but not necessarily the tomato itself. So the next ingredient we're going to add is actually our pesto. So as you can see, that's a ton of pesto that you can use. I don't need a whole lot, so maybe you want to say 2 tablespoons or maybe 1/3 of a cup if you want to say, and that should be plenty pesto to really act as a background note for the sauce. I know it seemed like I did a lot of work in the beginning to make the pesto sauce, but I don't want it to be too green of a sauce, if you want to say. So being that this is a cream sauce, so it's going to have just a hint of green to it, but that pesto has all kind of rich flavors, including the pistachios, which is a good part. So I had about 1.5 cups of heavy cream, and now that I got that in there, you'll really be able to see that little hint of the green color that the pesto adds to the sauce, and it's everything is really going to cook up real nice. So what you want to do is let this cook for a minute and bring it up to a simmer or even a little bit of a boil, and after you do that, you want to add in your cheese, and at that point the sauce is pretty much done. It's right where I need it to be. I went ahead and turned my fire down because I don't want the cheese to clump up. So it was up to a little bit of a simmer. I brought the fire down, and now I'm adding in the cheese. And again, be generous with the cheese. Add as much as you want. It is so important for this dish to add the cheese. Now I'm gonna temper that just a little bit because I want to mix this cheese in. Again, I don't want it to clump up, and the sauce is gonna thicken real nice because I'm gonna turn the heat back up to get it to basically simmer a little bit more, and then we'll add in more cheese and also add that sausage back in. So that's, I mean, it's, you know, you can't go wrong. I mean, look at that. That already looks good without even adding in some of the other ingredients. So now that we got the sauce looking exactly what we want it to look like, and I added a little bit more cheese, okay, we're going to throw in the sausage, okay? And we're going to get that sausage incorporated into the sauce. And man, I'm telling you, I'm just happy just thinking about it. And you can see the sauce thickened up with the cheese, and like I said, I was going to temper it to see exactly where we needed it to be. So what we're going to do is we're going to let this just stay on a low simmer. Okay, you don't want to bring this up to a boil or anything because everything is pretty much done. And I'm going to quickly cook my pasta. All right, let's get this pasta cooked. So I went ahead and got a pot on the stove, and I put some water in it. I guess you can say it's about 4 cups of water, and put some salt and a little bit of extra virgin olive oil into the pot. And you want to bring this up to a boil, and then you're going to throw in that pasta. So as you can see, I'm using rigatoni noodles, and it's probably my favorite pasta to use, besides like a bow tie pasta. This is going to go quick. You want to make sure it's cooked until al dente, and I went ahead and taste a couple of the pasta to make sure it's exactly where I need it to be. So now that the pasta is where I want it, I went ahead and flip-flopped the pots. And so what I'm going to do is add I turned the heat up on my sauce. I'm going to add the pasta right there to the sauce. And what you want to do is just basically get that all incorporated in there. This dish is pretty much towards the end, and you'll get that all stirred in. Put the pot aside, and now it's we're off to the races to get to the finish line. So mix that all in, get that all incorporated, and I'm telling you, we are at a really good place with this dish. I'm really liking what I'm seeing at this point. And now that we got it, I mean, right where we want it, what we're gonna do is, of course, we're gonna add more cheese. So, as I've said in previous videos, if you see me adding cheese and then adding parsley, you already know this is pretty much at the finish line. You want to stir that in, and I'm telling you, I mean, just look at that. It's spot on. And when I'm lost for words, I'm just gonna say. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get this all plated up and get it presented right, and so that way you guys can enjoy this one. But please go ahead and make this dish. It's a perfect type of dish that kind of homey, warm, and definitely have that comfort feel to it. Again, I love doing these videos. I know I've been a little bit behind, y'all, so I appreciate your patience with me. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell so you'll know exactly when I post. And from my table to your table, y'all have a great day and be safe out there.